How big should the Mega Millions jackpot be before you buy a ticket? Well, I like to say 214 million. That's my number. Now let's look at why. First of all, you pick 5 numbers out of the available 75 plus 1 out of the available 15 for Mega Ball, and if you match all 5 numbers plus the Mega Ball, you win that jackpot, minus, of course, you profit that jackpot minus the cost of the ticket. The probability of getting that jackpot is about 1 in 259 million, so not very likely, but it does happen. Okay, let's talk about this expected value table. You can win there, and then so you profit minus that cost of the ticket, or you don't win and you lose that dollar that you paid for the ticket. Probability of these things happening. You can look those up on the internet for any lotto game, and like I said, that's the jackpot. Probability of the jackpot is very low, and onward, most of these are pretty low probabilities, but it does happen. Probability of not winning, that's this last number, and the probability of not winning is just 1 minus the sum of all of these other numbers. So 1 minus the sum of those is 0.93 or 93%. Weighted average here. Weighted average is just the product of the 2 numbers before. So you multiply the amount that you would profit times that probability, and that gives you that weighted average. So you do that all the way down. Remember on that last one that it's negative 1, or whatever the cost of your ticket is, multiplied by the probability. Okay, the expected value right here, that is just the sum of all of the numbers above it. So you've got a lot of positive numbers or some positive numbers, and then a big negative number. And if that jackpot is large enough, you have an average. That is, if you were to buy millions of tickets, every single time the jackpot was 214 million, the average on those tickets, many would lose, some would win, and you would average just above $0. Now, if the jackpot is lower than 214 million, then you have an expected value or an average of a negative number, and that's not good. If the jackpot is higher, then you have a higher average per ticket. So that's good for you. Now, this does not take into account taxes or the likelihood of having to split the jackpot when the jackpot is high. But this is an optimist view, and it's kind of fun to play. 214 million is my number, my personal number, just because it's mathy, and I have to play by the rules of math because I teach it. Now, the probabilities here, just as a side note, these probabilities of winning the jackpot or any of these, they do not change no matter how many people play. So just want to make that clear. Now, this Megaplier, don't buy it. Don't pay that extra dollar for the Megaplier ticket, because look at this. The expected value is still negative. Even if the jackpot is $353 million, your average is still negative. And the reason why is because that Megaplier does not multiply the jackpot. If it multiplied the jackpot, then absolutely that Megaplier would be great, because you multiply on average 3.5 times all of these prizes. But if it's not multiplied by the jackpot, then forget about it. Don't do that Megaplier. Okay, if you want to set up your own any lottery, again, to recap, you can write down, just note to yourself, as I did up here, what can happen. You match 5 or 3 or whatever your other lotto is that you want to make for yourself here, the table. And then the profit, the jackpot minus the ticket, or the prize minus the ticket. And then remember the negative number, that's the cost of the ticket. So -1 or 2 or whatever the cost of the ticket is here. Probability, you would look these up on the website for your state lotto, and then just put those in there. And then again, this last number is just 1 minus the sum of all the numbers above it. Okay, that's the probability of not winning. Your weighted average, again, is your profit minus or multiplied by the probability of that happening. And onward and down, and remember this is a negative number times the probability of not winning. for this last number and the weighted average. And this this average, this is the sum of all of these numbers above. Okay, that's what the average is, the sum of all of those numbers above. So let's look at a really easy example, and that's roulette. Roulette, you've got 38 numbers. If you hit a number, you profit $35. If you're just betting $1, you profit $35, and they also give you your dollar back that you did bet. So it's a true profit of 35. The probability of hitting that number is 1 out of 38. So not very likely. If you lose $1. The probability of losing is about 97%, or 37 out of 38 probability or chances of not winning. Weighted average, that's $35 times 0.026 is 92 cents, and negative $1 times 0.97 is negative 97 cents. Add those up, and you get your average. So for every single dollar that you put down on a single number in roulette, you lose 5 cents. Now, I know we play for fun, so we don't think of it like that, but believe me, the casinos absolutely think about that. They think for every dollar that is put on that table on a single number, they will, on average, get about 5 cents of that dollar. And they want that because, of course, that makes their casinos humongous and then brings in more people. All right, I hope that helps, and check out, build this for your own lottery.